Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Paragon guide. I am Sylphin, and in this video we are doing a beginner's guide on the skills, abilities, and starter decks for Khaimera. So ladies and gentlemen, right off the bat, you're going to open up your deck selection screen and do the starter deck attack speed. Not the starter deck crit, but this starter deck attack speed. We will delve into why we picked this deck later on. Make sure to toggle off the suggestions so that you are looking at a screen that looks like this. Right off the bat, for the very first 3 card points, we are going to get a health potion, a harvester's key, and a scout's ward. So why did we pick the scout's ward and the harvester's key? Simply because in most situations, in most games, basically all games, Khaimera is going to be a jungler. Now, what does a jungler do? He is somebody that manages the jungles on the left and right side of your screen. And up there in the mini-map. He is going to kill these white camps, as you can see we are doing right now, and also plant harvesters and harvest their amber. Now, he is a very important character to do this. He's very, very powerful, and we will delve into that more. Now, why did I see, if you saw there, select our E? Because our E ability is what's going to keep us alive while we attack these camps. Now, it's a very powerful ability, and it's called Spirit Regeneration. What it does is every time you land your basic attack, which is your hack ability, your left click or your right trigger, if you're playing on a PS4, you gain health regeneration for each attack that you land. As you can look there in the bottom middle of your screen on just above the health bar, you can see that there's a number that keeps kind of pulsating every time I hit a basic attack. You can see that it's 10.7 right now, and that is how much health regen we have, 10.7 per second. As you can see, very, very easy here to get basically back to full health. Now what you want to do is take care of those white camps and also pay close attention to your mini-map. Why do you need to do that? In the top right-hand corner of your screen, because he is a very, very good ganking character. Ganking is when you rotate from the jungle over here to a lane and try to kill the enemy. So that gadget has actually, you see, retreated there to the middle of the lane. She is very smart and got away from me. So you have to be pay very close attention, because you need to secure kills here in the early game in order to stay even at par with the rest of your team. You have a tough time getting experience here in the jungle. It's a little bit hard to get when damage is as low as it is here in the early game, so you need to be able to get good ganks here in the early game. The second ability that's really going to help us is our Q. That is it right there. It's called Unleash. Upon activation, attack speed is maxed out for the next 5 seconds within 5 attacks within the 5 seconds. Excuse me. What that basically does is gives us 5 attacks that are almost immediate. As you saw there, there's very, very fast and is a very strong initiator skill. Now, there's a very good symbiosis here that lives between our Q and our E. Because our Q increases our attack speed so fast, and we're able to get 5 hits on the enemy very, very quickly, we actually are able to get 5 stacks of our passive, our health regeneration, very quickly. So it is very, very well, it works very well together. It's a very good initiate ability to get a good amount of damage, good amount of health regeneration here in the right at the beginning of the fight, and also just keep you alive. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a perfect gank right there. I was able to finish off that Kalari. I was paying attention to my mini-map, and what I did there was I engaged very hard on the enemy Kalari there. Now I'm actually going to engage on this Gideon simply because I was able to use my Q to get a good amount of health regen right at the beginning of the engagement, and what you saw there was actually our... oh, very close, wasn't quite able to kill him. What you saw there when I leapt into the air was the very last ability that we got here, and it's called Ambush. Khaimera leaps to a target enemy hero, briefly stunning that hero and dealing 40 physical damage in an AoE. So that AoE is very nice when you engage in a group of enemies, very, very strong. But it's also an incredible tool to follow the enemy, especially a Gideon like that uses his teleport to get away from you. Khaimera, when played properly, can stick like glue to any enemy hero. Now that we have 6 card power, we are going to go back and spend it. What are we going to spend it on? We really need these keys, because there's 3 more harvesters on the map. Sorry, 4 more harvesters that we need to get ASAP. So what does this Brawler's Key do? It gives us one additional Harvester's Key for a total of 3. So, or sorry, for a total of 2. My apologies. It's a very good card here, and it gives us some damage, and as you saw there, a little bit of mana, because if you start using all of your abilities on Khaimera, it does actually kind of... you run into a little bit of mana issues. So as I get this Harvester here way on the left lane, I'm going to put my Scout Sword, as you saw there, down just to keep some vision. So the Scout Sword gives us a very nice vision of the enemy. Ooh, here is this Gideon, who's a perfect gank, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to use my teleport, or my ambush, because he very much could get away, but here we go. Now I'm going to engage hard on this gadget and use another combination that I have yet to mention. So we got our ultimate here, and it is very, very powerful. So I can't finish that gadget off just yet, not enough damage, and that is okay. We got that Harvester, got a gank. That is exactly what we need to do. So, what did I just do to engage there on that gadget? Is a very strong combination. Your ambush, where you leap to the enemy target, and then your ultimate. His ultimate is called Call. It roots and causes 326 physical damage to the enemy hero. Oh, hello, Kalari. Trying to be sneaky here. Kalari really doesn't stand much of a chance against a Khaimera. Unless, of course, I'm going to try to... oh, she went invisible. Very nicely done. Yes, so that combination there, the right-click into your ultimate, is very strong. Nearby enemies are displaced and receive a 60% max movement speed slow. Well, there's a Kalari. Oh, I just missed with the ambush. The ultimate kind of disperses the enemy, so you and your target are alone just for a period of time, and just enables you to get a good amount of damage off. You can use your right click to get right on top of the enemy, and then you can use your ultimate to deal a good amount of damage, root them further, and then use your Q to get those 5 attacks off very quickly. It's a very, very potent combination that deals out massive amounts of damage. It almost basically instantaneously. That's certainly what it feels like. So here's this gadget. Let's see this combination in work. I'm actually not going to use my ultimate. I'm not going to use it because she has her ultimate. So let's see. Our right click into our ultimate into our Q. Very, very strong. That is a massive amount of damage that not many heroes are going to be able to withstand. So here is an example, ladies and gentlemen, of the enemy having one of their harvesters. So, as you can see, take a look right in the middle of the mini-map. You can see that we have 2 harvesters there, one just off the left of the mid lane, and one all the way over there in the left lane. There is another one all the way over on the right side of the map, to the right of this right lane, and that is this one here. We actually don't have a Harvester's Key, and that is okay. It's not ideal to place a harvester when you don't have a key. However, it just takes a much longer time to place that harvester. So I went back to get those harvester charges and to finish off this Brawler's Key. This is going to give us, look at that, 32 physical damage and quite a bit of mana here. So we can use our ability, stay a little bit more on the map, and not have to go back for some mana. So not all camps on the map are equal. If you take a look in the jungle, there is a red dot, a red camp, and a blue dot, a blue camp. These camps are actually different, and they give you special powers when you kill them. So as you can see, there's two smaller minions, and now there's this bigger minion here. Once you kill this bigger minion, you gain a lot of experience and card power for one, but also you gain a special buff. Now, this special buff does different things. The blue one gives you increased cooldown reduction and mana regeneration. The cooldown reduction would be nice here for Khaimera, but this red one is even better. It gives you bonus damage and movement speed when you hit with a basic attack. Very, very strong, and obviously it's going to make you able to stick like glue to the enemy team. So let's actually do that here. What a good stun there on this Decker, and looks like this Rampage was able to stop our advance on that Decker very, very nicely. So the one really strong way to take a Khaimera down is stuns. Just like you saw there, stuns. It's very, very strong with Khaimera because he needs to attack due to his passive in order to stay alive, and also, of course, to deal damage. If you stun him, if you kite him, if you make him unable to attack, then he really, really, really suffers. As you saw there, we weren't able really to do anything to that Decker until finally we got the chance before. So this Rampage, I think, wants to take this Harvester that I wasn't able to quite yet get. But let's see what we can do here. I think I actually have much more sustain than him. Yeah, looks at this. So we are able to totally out-tank him, and because of this regeneration, we will be able to get back most of our health. We just keep attacking here. We should be able to regen a large portion of our health back. Look at that, back to pretty much 3/4 health, just like that. And good, this Harvester is free for grabs. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We now have 5 Harvesters on the map. That is 5 times the experience we wouldn't have otherwise have gotten. So with 6 card power, we're going to go into the next very important part of a jungler, and that is giving vision for your team. This Brawler's Ward here is going to give us an upgraded Scout's Ward that's now called a Shadow Ward. So that very first Scout's Ward that we placed there on the left lane, the enemy, if the enemy had walked by it, they would have been able to see it. And subsequently, they would have been able to take it out. They would have been able to attack it and kill it. Now, this Brawler's Ward gives us what's called Shadow Wards. Now, these Shadow Wards, they turn invisible when you place them, so the enemy can't see them, and subsequently can attack them and destroy them. So this gadget just made the wrong mistake, because we're going to use our combination there, our right click into the ultimate to do a massive amounts of damage, and with that sustain that we're going to have from our passive, look at that, half health still, totally take her out. And that is basically the Shadow's wards. What we want to do is we want to place them all over the jungle to really give us and our team a very good sense of where the enemy is moving. Now, where do you place these? Where do you place these wards? I like to place them someplace where I will tell you in a moment. Let's see if we can gank this Rampage. We can. exactly what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen. You want to secure those kills, get that numbers advantage to push down these towers, and to get experience for your team. Perfect jungler's job right there. So the wards we want to be placing all around the jungle to give our team vision advantage. On this side of the map, I really like to put them right about here so that they can give vision to, just like this Polari coming in. If we had an ally there, we wouldn't have been able. Oh, where is she? Nope, she escaped. No, there she is. She made a mistake here, and she will pay for it. So I put the ward right there so that you can get vision of all of that area. You actually don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if the enemy jungler will come from the enemy side of the map or your friend or the friendly side of the map. Lots of people place their wards on the enemy side of the map. They place their wards right about here, right on this little clip here. But sometimes, quite a few times actually, the enemy will come from your side of the jungle. If they're really a good jungler, they'll come from your side and surprise you. For warding this side, I like to put it right up there. It kind of gets perked up right on top of there and gives this whole area a very nice vision. So this is a gank here that we'll definitely be able to get. Ooh. Oh no, didn't want to do that. Sorry about that. I wanted to finish that gadget, but we were warding off and took a little too long there. That is something you don't want to do. You want to secure those kills to get that advantage. So let's make sure that these don't level up too much. What happens is every minute, I believe, these camps level up. So you can see that there's a 3 over top. It's actually going to... Where is this Polari? Oh, she's trying to take me out, but I don't think that's going to work, Polari. Let's use our alt, or our right click there. And she disappears. Okay. They level up every minute. And what happens is they do get more valuable as they increase, but it's actually more efficient to kill a level 1 camp. As they increase, they don't increase exactly by 2, and then by 3, and then by 4. There's diminishing returns when that happens. So we want to kill them as much as possible when they are at level 1. So we are doing a lot of stuff in the jungle, and it's really quite nice. 9 card power there, being able to get this Brawler's Ward fully maxed out with some more damage, but now we are really going to start scaling up our damage. Attack speed is what is going to absolutely make us a monster. Why is this attack speed so important? With that 3 card power, we're going to get this major strike here, because I don't want to have 1 left over. Why is attack speed so important? The faster we can attack, obviously the more damage we do. He has a moderate attack speed, so any attack speed that you do get is a fairly substantial increase to his damage output. But we're not only going to be able to do more damage, land more attacks, we'll also be able to get our passive accumulated more as well. That will lead to more sustain, which will then enable us to do more damage in a team fight. It's, as you can see, it kind of feeds back on itself quite nicely, and is just a really, really nice stat that works really well for Khaimera. So let's leap on here on this Polari, finish her off. Let's do this. Let's use our ultimate actually on this Decker. No, we got to get out of here. Oh, very nice ultimate by that gadget. Didn't quite notice the gadget fully, and we die. So that was a great example of not getting that much passive built up before too much damage was done. I initiated pretty hard there. Khaimera does not fulfill the role of an initiator. He has to come in from the side after the battle has kind of happened for a while and take out a already low health target or medium health target. He can't be the center of attention. Now, one thing you can do is actually go into the enemy's jungle and try to harass their harvesters. What you will need to do, however, is place a ward in their jungle. I like putting one right here on the shadow pad, giving me a lot of vision of the bottom of this jungle, and then when I go up top here, I place a ward kind of right here. So that gives me a fair amount of vision as they come over top there, and then also when they're trying to come from the side. So here we're going to be able to very quickly destroy this tower and then get out of here. So one really strong aspect of Khaimera is because he has such a high basic attack damage, he is a very, very good tower diver. So he, not in the tank sense, but in the gank sense. If you can run up to a tower because your Q gives you maxed out attack speed, you can very, very, very quickly take out an enemy tower. So that's exactly what I did there. I was able to run in, use my Q, just demolish the last third of the tower and get that for the team. We have a 9 card power, a very large amount. Now this attack speed is going to totally enhance our ability to do damage here. Your Q has a very diminishing returns for attack speed because it maxes out your attack speed. You're not benefiting from this attack speed, but that is for a very short period of time, and for the rest of the engagement, which hopefully you are staying in because you have sustain and will be getting health later on, you need that attack speed. The next card we are going for is Spear of the Rift Runner. When we attack, we want to be able to crit, because that crit will give us 50% more damage, and that is exactly the card that we're getting next. Fill that with a 2-point wound for a total of 9% crit chance already. So here in the mid-game, what you want to be doing is definitely using, hopefully, what advantage you have here to come in and turn the tide of these team fights. So as you can see, I'm trying to here, can't let this rampage get too much regeneration off. I'm going to use my right click, hopefully. Yes, we're able to take him out. So here at this point, you're going to have the 3 harvesters here in the middle of the map. What the harvester's key that we got will help us significantly if the enemy decides to destroy our harvesters. Now that we have that attack speed, we're going to be very, very strong here in these engagements, so we're going to want to use that attack speed to turn the tides of these 1v1s, turn them into 2v1s, and secure those kills. In case it's not clear, just because junglers are very kind of all over the place, what the focus of what we're doing so far has been securing the harvesters, getting the harvester ember if we can, and then most importantly, roaming across the map, placing our wards, giving vision for our team, and ganking preferably low health heroes, or just turning 1v1s into solid 2v1s. With 6 card power, we're going to be able to finish off this Spear of the Rift Runner. 27% crit chance. A quarter of the basic attacks that we land will crit. So out of the 5 attacks that we do in that very quick amount of time with our Q, I mean, 2 to 3 of them are going to crit. That is amazing. The next card that we are going for after this is the our main stat that bonuses us attack speed. So the next card will be this Wind Carver Blade for that 2-point physical upgrades. So, ladies and gentlemen, the crux of Khaimera is stuns, and that Decker and the Rampage have some stuns that really, really affect us pretty hard. So that is what took me out there. And that 4 card power, we're going to get our next card here, the Wind Carver Blade. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you aren't just relegated to the jungles and roaming around. You are, of course, also responsible for defending your towers, pushing lanes, and taking out towers that have lanes pushed right up against them. Siege is the objective of the game. You can't win the game without taking down the towers, without taking down the core. So if you are not part of that equation, then you are wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, take a look here. I have been pushing this lane for very long. Look at our health regeneration, 71. I'm going to sit here on this tower, and I don't think that is enough. I was being really, really aggressive. That's a little bit embarrassing there, but we were pushing that lane so hard. We took down a rampage that went even through his ultimate, even through his regeneration. We were able to regen further. As if you can get a very strong regen there, you can use that to your advantage. You can do crazy things. Not that much. Not like taking a tower when you're already at half health, but you get the point. You can do pretty ballsy things when you have kind of that combo going on. 4 card points works perfectly here. Getting it 2-point strike upgrades and get that physical damage going a lot. Now, after this, I might as well take this time to talk about these last 3 cards here. Now, one of them is very healthy, so it has health on it and fully upgraded bonus, plus health upgrades on it. This is going to be a must. Damage has been nerfed overall in Paragon, so keeping a balanced approach is going to be very strong. All of this has been damaged so far, so we very much need this. After that, this Adamant's Edge has only 100 health on it, but it is at least more than this Blade of Agora. The Blade of Agora gives us 50% crit bonus, so when we crit, we do 50% more than the previous 50%, meaning we do 100% more damage when we crit. So definitely the Amulet of the Veteran, but it's up to you whether you want this 100 health or this 50% crit bonus. We actually got 3 card powers sitting there, so let's finish this off with this Major Kinetic. This attack speed here is going to really, really help us when we are out of our Q, when we're not using our Q, and just kind of in the fight. The Initiate is very, very strong on Khaimera. You use that on a low health target to get that advantage in a team fight, to take that person out of the fight and give your team hopefully a 5v4, and then when you are sustaining through the rest of the 4 members, you need that attack speed when your Q is off cooldown. So there is that Decker stun that is very, very powerful. I'm gonna use my Q here, trying to get our passive up a little bit. Not that she does a lot, but as you can see, our damage is starting to really get powerful. So this Gideon's coming back. That is his problem. Our right click into the Q erases him from the game. So let's see exactly how fast we can take down this tier 2 tower. Very, very fast, as you can see. I'm going to take a shot here of this tower just to take down the tower. Look at that. Just that little bit of an engagement here on a tower is very, very strong. And this Kalari made the wrong move, able to leap on her in mid-air and secure the kill. So very, very strong here. As you can see, you can just take a moment to ward off a lane. You can do a lot of pushing very safely. As you can see, that combination, right-click into the ultimate, into your Q is very strong. And oftentimes, just like that, when you are ganking the enemy, your Q or your right-click into your ultimate is enough to secure the kill. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the build here. We have 9 unspent card points. We have a total of 60 card power, and this finishes off the build. So we are going to definitely go here for the Amulet of the Veteran to get this rid of our health potion and finish it off with all of this health. Now, we have an option here. This Brawler's Ward can be replaced by one of the 2 cards that I was talking about before, but I would only recommend doing that when you are down to the enemy's inhibitors. Preferably if you have one of the enemy inhibitors down, then you don't really need that vision all that much. Why? Because the enemy is forced to defend that one lane that has the inhibitor down. Those super minions are just too strong to ignore. So the enemy are automatically confined to the enemy base, therefore kind of eliminating the need, the really strong need for vision. Hopefully, you know, somebody on your team will still have a ward regardless, so it won't be that imperative to keep that ward. But here we go. Ultimate into right click into the ultimate into a Q, just like that. Now at this point, that Adamant's Edge is going to give us 800 extra health here, bringing our health up by almost 50%, which is absolutely huge. That little bit of a buffer will definitely enable us to survive the high amounts of damage that flies across the battlefield here in the late game, and will enable us to get our passive up to a fairly strong amount, so that we can start regenerating our health and having some sustain in team fights. At this point, you really need to be using your card advantage that you have over the enemy team in team fights. When you destroy an enemy hero, you actually get global experience for your team. So if you have a card, if you have an advantage over the enemy team, you need to be using that in team fights. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point we have eliminated an inhibitor. This is when I would switch out our Brawler's Ward for one of these. Now, the starter deck, I would have put some health here on this Adamant's Edge. I don't think that it is an early game card. I mean, it certainly could be, but out of the cards that we have here, I would be saving this for the end game with some health on it. So since it doesn't have health upgrades on it, I'm going to have to concede here for the Blade of Agora. Make us even more of a scalpel here in these engagements. Engaging on a low health target, eliminating them, creating that numbers advantage, sustaining through the enemy damage from our passive and a little bit of a buffer that our health gives us, and winning these team fights. So we had a bit of a 2v2 here in the mid lane. The Richter is forced to retreat due to low health, but look at our sustain here. Look at our health regeneration. 97, 99, 102, 104. Absolutely incredible. That is why we want that little bit of a health buffer to keep ourselves in the fight a little bit longer before we get too low health, so we can get that passive kind of ramped up with a quick attack speed with a lot of our Q. There you have it. So that is a good example here. Even in a 2v2, you can be a very, very strong character, even if you aren't coming in from the side on low health target, like I have been saying. This tower would die very quickly if I was just to be able to get in there and take it out. So let's see. Yeah, so there's enough minions here. Let's see exactly how fast. Q into the basic attacks, just melted. So at this point, using your advantage over the enemy team to get a numbers advantage, just like we have now, forcing 2 out of the only heroes here to defend the tower while we take down these inhibitors very, very quickly. Our friendly team knows that we can take this inhibitor down very quickly. They're going straight for the core, and we can have a very decisive win here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very strong hero when you play him properly, and you build him correctly here in the early game to get that advantage and that vision to save your teammates from beating the enemy team, giving them the advantage. Very, very strong. That inhibitor is down. Look at that. And now we have to pick our low health target. The Rampage is not a good low health target just because he has his ultimate to regenerate, but looks like he doesn't have it actually. So I'm going to secure this kill, create that numbers advantage, come back in on this Gideon, stun him. So yes, it's only a root. That is my bad. So let's see here. I think I'm taking too much damage, ladies and gentlemen. My passive is not built up enough, so let's just sit here. We're stuck in this cage anyways. Keep on the basic attacking. No, we are forced to leave not able to sustain through that. So we will simply, ooh, Kalari. Let's see, can we take a Kalari? At this point, it looks like it. Very nicely done, Howitzer. And we're going to have to concede here. Get back. Ooh. We're going to try something, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can attack these minions and regenerate our health. No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm going to do what I preach and go back, play it safe, get some more health, and hopefully take down this tower very. And there is victory, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very strong. These starter decks, when you use them properly in the order like I have suggested, I am very, very certain that this is the way to go for Khaimera. The crit deck could certainly work. There would certainly be some potential there, but I think that this gives you a better team fight kind of potential here, which is a very key part of this game. So as we started off with that Brawler's Key and the ward that we replaced here, we went straight into this Wind Cover Blade for that kinetic. Very, very, very important when we do that. Went into the crit after that, then the Wind Cover Blade into the Amulet of the Veteran to give us that health in the late game, and then finished it off with the Blade of Agora. So there is the build, ladies and gentlemen, and basically the strategy with Khaimera is it's fairly complicated. To be a very effective jungler takes a fair amount of experience, a good amount of understanding and map awareness to really make him shine. So in the early game, you were getting those harvesters immediately when they come up, as many as possible, including the ones in the middle of the map. You are using your ward to provide vision for your friendly team so that they stay safe and don't give the advantage to the enemy team. You are taking out down caps, and then in the mid game you are starting to, once towers are down, you're starting to try to, create more advantages by roaming, by being involved in a little bit more of these team fights. And then in the late game you're getting that health, trying to be certainly using your advantage that you have accumulated in those team fights by being kind of a walking assassin that just kind of jumps in, destroying the enemy team, creating that advantage, and then sustaining through it. So there you guys have it. Please let me know down in the comments if it was helpful, if there's anything I can do to improve or make anything more clear. Please like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, please share it with the community, and of course subscribe. If you learned anything or if you simply enjoyed the video, please subscribe so I can help you and make it enjoyable for you in the future as well. Until next time, like always, take care.